Just got a new t-shirt and I love it. Look at that. So my big project for the beginning of this year, maybe the whole year, is the Rivendell Guard from The Hobbit. I found myself in the middle of getting lots of resources and information for this costume, and it's coming from quite a lot of different places. I thought, why not share some of these ideas? So here are my top 5 tips for researching a costume. Number 1, screencaps from the actual thing you're making. Now this one seems pretty self-explanatory, but you need to look at screencaps of the costume that you're doing. This can come from the movie, the TV program, the game, and there are a few ways to do this. On a computer, of course, you have the print screen function. You can load up your movie and then just press print screen and then use something like Photoshop to paste and save your files. You can even use basic programs like Paint to do this as well.
Strange for orcs to come so close to our borders.
If you're playing a game or something as well, there's often an option to take a screenshot, and then of course you can just save them to a hard drive. There are also some great sites like moviescreencaps.com. These have already screencapped lots of movies and have them all listed. You can just scroll through the whole movie. They're usually really well done and in focus, and usually that's quite difficult to do yourself. And I pulled tons of pictures for this costume from The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey. Number 2, behind the scenes footage. Now lots of movies these days have behind the scenes documentaries and things when you buy the movie, especially if you buy the movie on a Blu-ray or DVD. And these usually have fantastic reference of the costume that you want from different angles than you see in the regular movie. For mine, I managed to find a fantastic little segment on the making of the bit in Rivendell. There's some pictures of them just standing around. There's a bit where some of the actors are partially undressed. Not like that, you dirty people. But they actually have parts of the costume taken off, and you can see different parts of it that you just can't see in the film. So yeah, this was just super helpful for my costume. Number 3, concept art. Especially with games and big budget movies, there's often a lot of concept art done before the costumes actually get made. Now these can provide a great insight into parts of the costume that perhaps you don't see in the final product. One of my main images for this project is this fantastic concept piece. Although the final one didn't end up quite like this, it's a great reference for the whole figure. I can definitely pull bits from it to use in my final costume. There are also fantastic books out there that get released, as well as images found online. So if you can afford to get the books to have a look through, it's usually well worth it. And in fact, my weapon reference for this costume comes entirely from the concept art. Number 4, the studio and original makers. So sometimes it can be worth checking websites for the actual armourers or costume makers for a movie. For mine, it's the legendary Weta Workshop, and they had some fantastic images on their website of the screen used costumes. You can also try and get in contact with the companies to see if they have anything extra to share with you. I did try and contact Weta to get some extra reference images of this costume, maybe some extra set photos or something like that. They politely declined to share anything, but wished me good luck in making the rest of the costume. On their website, however, they did have these high definition shots of detailed parts of the costume, which are really handy for me just to get some of those tiny details right. A little cheeky tip for you in saving images from websites: if you encounter a website where you can't right click and save the image because the viewer doesn't let you do it, in the top of your browser you can inspect the elements and code for the page that you're on, and if you look in some of the folders up there, you can usually find the source files for the images that are on the website, and usually these are pretty good. You can just right click, open in a new tab, and then it is fully savable. Sneaky sneaky. Some video game companies have also started releasing cosplay guides. I'm pretty sure The Witcher and games like that do cosplay guides. They'll give you really high def pictures of all the textures and all the different parts, so it's definitely worth checking those out. And number 5 are the fan builds. Now it's more than likely, especially in popular franchises, that people will have tried to build the costume before you. Especially for popular franchises like Star Wars, there's even costume guides detailing different parts and the differences between costumes between movies. Now, I think I'm actually the first that I've seen who's trying to build the one from The Hobbit, but there are lots of people before me who have tried to build the elves from Lord of the Rings, the Second Age armour you see right at the very beginning in the very first battle. And for the most part, this is incredibly similar to that one, so other people have been a fantastic help to me in getting this costume started. There are even some fantastic patterns that I managed to find for different parts of the armour, and although these aren't perfect, they are a brilliant place for me to start patterning pieces for this costume. Check out places like the RPF, which is in my opinion the best costume and prop resource on the internet. It's just a great community where people can meet and discuss ideas, and yeah, more than likely someone on there has already tried to build what you're building. Also, once again, do check out Facebook groups. There's usually a group on there that does what you want to do. If not, why don't you start one? But there are definitely Lord of the Rings cosplay groups out there, and I'm a member of one, and it's just great to see what other people are working on in the fandom that you like. So there we go, guys. There's my top 5 tips for beginning to research a costume. Hopefully it's giving you at least a couple of extra ideas to think about when researching a costume and different places to look. I am just about ready to start with this costume, so I need to crack on. So look forward to updates to that in the future, and of course I will see you in the next one. And until then, take care. Bye bye.